Homeowners considering selling their home may be pausing for a moment based on what's going on in the current housing market. It's important to have the perspective, if you're going to be selling your home, of what this housing market looks like in comparison to others. So here are some things to consider with this shift in the housing market if you're thinking about selling your house before you decide not to sell and to wait. That may be an option for you. However, now may be the time for you to move forward with that sale. There are fewer homes for sale today than pre-pandemic. While the supply of homes available for sale has increased this year compared to last year, we're still nowhere near what's considered a balanced market. A recent article from Calculated Risk helped puts this year's increased inventory into perspective. Let's take a look at this graph. It compares housing inventory the week ending October 7th over the past 3 years. This graph shows that this year's supply has surpassed 2021 levels by over 30%. But the further back we go, we understand a little bit better perspective. If we go back to 2020, we are barely over that level of inventory. And if you go back to 2019, we're roughly 40% below the housing supply we had back at that time. So why does this matter to you? When inventory is low, there's still a demand for your house because there just aren't enough homes available for sale. Of course, the interest rates right now are impacting the number of buyers that are available. Homes are still selling faster than normal years. While homes aren't selling as quickly as they did a few months ago, the average number of days on market is still well below the pre-pandemic norms. That's a large part because inventory is so low. This graph uses data from the Reader's Confidence Index by the National Association of Realtors, and it illustrates this trend. Take a look at it. This graph shows the pre-pandemic numbers, shown in blue, are higher than the numbers we saw during the pandemic years in green, because the average days on the market started to decrease as homes sold at record pace during the pandemic. Most recently, however, with this cool down in the housing market, the average days on market has started to trick back up slightly in orange, but they're still far below the pre-pandemic time on market. So what does this mean for you? While it may not sell as fast as it did a couple of months ago, homes are still selling much faster than they did before the pre-pandemic years when it was more normal. And if you price it right, your home could still go under contract quickly. Now, buyer demand has moderated and it's more in line with what we've seen in typical years. It's softened this year in response to the rising mortgage rates. But again, let's take a look at this perspective. Getting 3 to 5 offers like sellers did during the pandemic isn't the norm. The graph below uses data from the National Association of Realtors going back to 2018, and it tells the story of this shift over time. Let's take a look at this graph. Before the pandemic, it was typical for sellers to get 2 to 2.5 offers on their home. But as the market heated up during the months of the pandemic, the average number of offers shot up as record low mortgage rates drove up demand, and that's in green. Most recently, the numbers of offers on homes sold today in orange has started to return to pre-pandemic levels as the market cools down from the frenzy of a few months ago. So the takeaway is that buyer demand is moderated from the pandemic peak, but it hasn't disappeared. Buyers are still out there, and if you price your house at current market value, you're still likely able to sell your house today. The best thing you can do is have a conversation with me or another real estate professional to talk about your options and the impact of the current housing market on your house. Hi, I'm Jeff Jones of eXp Realty. Visit meetjeffnow.com to schedule a conversation for us to talk about your home selling goals so that you can make a confident decision. Or visit readytosellscore.com to discover how ready you are to sell. Have a blessed day.